Alright guys, so moving forward in remainder theorem, this question you are going to be asked to solve for a variable. So you're going to identify that you need to do this when there are two variables here. That's why this is highlighted in yellow. And when it says what is the value of k, and it can be k, h, m, it doesn't matter. So when you look at your polynomial, you'll see all your x's like normal, but there will be an extra variable in the room. So that's why you're going to use this one. So f of negative 2, that means we're going to plug that negative 2 in all of these spots. It's going to be plus k, and then it tells us we have a remainder of 5, which means it equals to 5. Because in our remainder theorem yesterday, we were plugging in our negative 2 all the way across, and then trying to find out what the remainder was. So they gave me the remainder, they gave me my x value, now I'm looking for k. So you're going to add all this together, or put it together, in your calculator. Be careful because it's going to be a communication issue between you and your calculator for most of you, not that you actually do not do it correctly. So I challenge you to pause your video right now because you and your calculator need to be on the same page. Whatever calculator you're using, whether it be Desmos on your phone or the TI-84. So pause the video, plug all of this in your calculator just as is, and then come back to me. Alright, so if you plug all of this in your calculator as is, you should have a negative 4 plus k equals 5. We're trying to get k by itself, so we're going to add 4 to both sides, so k equals 9. So again, you're still doing remainder theorem, you're just solving for k. And when k is by itself like this, it's a great, awesome process. Alright, so going again, we have an expression that has a remainder of negative 3, and when it's divided by x plus 5. So in this case, I need to solve it, so set it equal to 0, and find out what x is. So x is equal to negative 5. So we're going to plug that in all the way across. And again, I highly recommend you pausing your video and making sure that you and your calculator are on the same page. Is not something you're going to want to do, but trust me, this is where we miss these. So take a moment and then come back to me. So at this point, you should have a 15 minus p equals negative 3. We're going to move that 15 by subtracting, which is going to give us a negative p equals a negative 18. P is not by itself yet, so p is actually equal to 18. And again, at this point, our variable's at the end, and I told you the letters could be anything. Alrighty? Getting a little saucy. So this is where we get a little weird. This is where we start making some mistakes, more than just the fact that you're not plugging in the calculator right. So I have a polynomial, has a remainder of 5, so that's my output, when divided by x minus 6, which means x is going to be a positive 6. So I'm going to plug in a positive 6, positive 6, positive 6, all the way across. Now, this is what has to get by itself. So what I've told students to do maybe in the past is you plug this much in the calculator and rewrite it, because otherwise it's not that you, again, know what you're doing, it's that you don't push the right buttons. But if you plug all this in the calculator and you can actually go and subtract it by 13, then you should end up with, actually pause your screen and try it in your calculator right now. So plug all of this minus 13 in your calculator and you'll get a number. Alright, coming back. So I got negative k6 minus plus 23 equals 5. Now, negative k6 is negative 6k, which is, you can rewrite it if you'd like. That 23, we're going to move it by subtracting. So we're going to get a negative 18 on this side. Divide by that negative 6. Divide by negative 6. And k equals 3. The most popular misconception answer is you will tell me that the answer is 23. Or you'll tell me that it's a negative 18. So be careful. Again, if k is attached to one of your x's, then you have a little more math to do. So just slow down. Again, pay attention and make sure you're plugging it in your calculator. Alright, so here's my work. We're going to plug in a 2 in the place of all of these. So 2 to the third power plus 3 times 2 squared minus m times 2. So this again is our target to get by itself. Plus 3. And the remainder is negative 5, so it's going to be equal to negative 5. Pause the screen, pick up your calculators, plug it in, and make sure you're not making mistakes. You and your calculator have to get on the same page. Alrighty, so from here, we should end up, I'm going to rewrite this, with negative 2m plus 23. So if you plug this and this in, you should get a positive 23 equals a negative 5. So I'm going to subtract 23 from both sides. And that's going to give me a negative 28. Divide by negative 2 on both sides. an m value, again, whatever letter they choose, is going to be 14. One more example, super simple in case you aren't getting it at this point. Now, the expression, super short, has a remainder of 3, so equal to, your remainder is 3, that's where that came from. We're going to turn this into an x equals -2 when we solve it, and we're going to take our problem and plug it in where we can. So that -2 is going to go in the place of x. -2 squared is going to give me a 4 minus k equals 3. We're going to move the 4 by subtracting it, so negative k equals -1. Can't leave that k negative, so k equals 1. So this is the answer to this question. So this is literally not any hidden multiple ways they can ask this question. It's going to be an expression with two variables, so x and k. They're going to give you a remainder, and they're going to give you what it's divided by. So either divided by a factor, or it's going to say this solution, so f of -2, or in this case, g of -2. All right, good luck, guys. Text me or email me if you have any problems.